Yes. So, how to lead into this? I think there's a saying, isn't there? I think maybe Sir Isaac Newton. There'll be others that'll tell me I'm wrong. That originally said it, that we're standing on the shoulders of giants. Well, in my particular case, my giant is a rather petite, and I'll be generous and say 5 foot tall, passionate advocate for adult education, and that's Ruth Spellman, OBE. Ruth was CEO of the WEA for 8 years, and a period of time through austerity when not only was public funding being cut, but it was being devolved, and it was a real big threat to the WEA, to all types of our provision. And actually, it was through Ruth's leadership and guidance that actually I'm sat here able to talk about the strong position we find ourselves in as a WEA, the way we've reacted to COVID, the way we've been able to support Lucy and others to do all the great work that they've done over the 12 months that we've just had. So Ruth is a passionate advocate for all types of adult education, but particularly for that community-based liberal arts part-time learning. And she's been hammering home the need for continued public investment in that ever since I've known her. So, and she's not, her resolve and her determination hasn't diminished since leaving the WEA. I mean, believe me, I get the emails, I get the next idea, I get the next contact that I'm to reach out to, I get the next policy position that I'm asked to take, and I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for Ruth's experience and guidance. So she's still very, very active, non-exec roles in Open University, Education and Training Foundation, Learning and Work Institute. There's probably another 2 or 3 that Ruth's involved with since we wrote this. That's the power and the passion of the woman. And today, this fellowship recognises that. It recognises both the contribution to the WEA, but also that wider passion and advocacy for adult learning. The commitment's there for everybody to see. And actually, it has been seen, it's been recognised. In 2007, Ruth received the OBE for services to workplace learning. This year, she added another accolade to her collection in terms of the Lifetime Achievement Award. Now, the Lifetime Achievement Award at the TESS FE Awards. And now we're delighted to be able to bestow this fellowship on Ruth. I'm not going to embarrass her by asking her to rank in any particular order how important these 3 accolades are to her. But I've got a sneaking suspicion I know which is the most important. So Ruth, thank you. Thanks for everything you've done for us, and over to you.
Well, thank you, Simon. That's such a difficult thing to follow, and I am full of emotion. But I wanted to say a few things, actually, as you'll not be surprised, Simon, because it's not just a private conversation we're having. This is hopefully the start of a whole new growth of the WEA, which I've come to know and love so well. And it means a lot to me to be part of the family. I actually feel this family sense of reaching out to a whole new generation of new students. And I'm amazed at the successes of the WEA in building on its platforms of interactive media, all the things that you've done, which are about innovation, change, making difficult choices, all those things that have happened during the period of time that I've not been with you in an executive level role, but I know how tough some of those decisions are. And you've come through so brilliantly for all your friends and supporters and all your students, and the 40,000 who had a course this year even, which is extraordinary. And I do not know of any other education provider that has made the same transition as well. So a little bit about my history. Can I talk a little bit about that? So I've always been a bit of a rebel, and I think joining the WEA for me was quite an important point in my life. I got to that stage where I thought, I can only really work in an organisation now that I truly believe in. And when the WEA role came up, as it did for Simon more recently, I thought, this is a job I have to do. My father was a tutor with the WEA. My grandfather was a student of the WEA back in 1911, would you believe? And it was through the WEA that they got their place in society. And it was through that influence that I heard of the WEA when I was a tiny young girl. I have 4th in a family of 6 girls, and they're all high achievers. And I decided I was going to be one of those strong, resilient women that I had around me as role models, and I was going to succeed. in my education. And I wasn't just doing it for me, I was doing it for the generations of women for whom it has become so important. I think the other thing that I think my educational journey has taught me is to think for myself, to challenge, not to accept the wisdom of others, but to challenge it, to feel that it's right to challenge, that, having an inquiring mind is a good thing. It might be disruptive when you're 12 years old in the classroom and you're asking questions nobody really has the answers to. But on the other hand, that's what keeps life so interesting and so challenging for us all. And we are being asked very difficult questions at the moment as a society. And if you look across the world, you can see the kind of social challenges everyone has. So, it's the relevance of what we do at the WEA, getting people to understand their strengths, their potential, to dig deep, to think widely about what their role is in society. Those things are incredibly important. If we're all selfish, we will all die. If we don't reach out to other people, we will not survive as a species. And it's as simple as that. And what made the WEA so special for me was the opportunity I had to lead an incredible team, to build strengths where I thought the organization was really finding it difficult to make some of those changes that Simon has referred to, but which have then gone on and been that innovation and that change has been incorporated into the WEA way of doing things. And nobody's ever satisfied with good. We want excellent. And I think that's such a great thing to drive your performance, to drive your personal motivation, and to inspire others to support you. Because you have to be good at what you do, or you will not succeed in life, and you will not get the funding that you need to do the incredible job that you do. So being good at things is important. And therefore, all of those individual efforts, all that blood, sweat and tears that you put into both the organisation of tonight, that you put into the teaching through the year, and through inspiring your students, has made the difference. It is about blood, sweat and tears, but it's also about love. We have to feel that feeling. You have to embrace other people and understand their potential and be inspired by it. And don't be afraid, don't be afraid to learn things, new things yourself. This year during lockdown, I have very belatedly picked up a painting brush and done some painting. And I've also been writing some poems, mainly about COVID, because I was so angry at the earlier stages of of COVID, all the very obvious mistakes that were being made. This is not really a party political point, but I felt so angry for all the people who were suffering, sometimes completely needlessly. And it really sort of made me newly aware of why never forgetting we are connected is so important. And, the WEA is such a great survivor. If you think about what's happened during the 20th century from 1903 onwards, it survived 2 world wars, the Depression, the Thatcher years of pay restraint and austerity measures and cuts in public services. And we're still going and we're still strong. And as Simon was saying, we're more open today than we've ever been before. Now that's a hell of a success story, and it's worth anybody's investment. So when I look at the cuts that are, perhaps being threatened to adult education, I think we should be loud and proud. I think we should be out there telling some of those stories, telling some of the fabulous stories that we've heard today. Believe that we can do things, because we can, we can. If we develop people, we can do anything. And those impact stats that Simon was quoting from, they are fabulous figures. So, my job now as an ambassador for the WEA and also as a fellow will be to get as many of these messages out there as possible, to use every ounce of influence and to work with partners such as the ETF and the Learning and Work Institute and Advisor, which gives careers advice to all age people. My job is to try and connect those dots, to make those partnerships stronger, and to make sure that WEA impact is understood. It's a very good investment for any chancellor, whatever their political opinion may be. It's the only hope for our country to grow and renew itself, to invest in everyone, and particularly in education. So, can I just repeat my thank you to Simon, to John, to the staff, the volunteers, everyone that I've met at the WEA. And particularly, can I say to all those winners today, be a winner. Live the part. Be truly proud of what you've achieved. And don't be shy about telling people about the WEA or your success story. They reflect great credit on you as individuals and your capacity. So I wanted to thank you and also congratulate you, and also say personally that whilst I've done a lot of jobs and I've enjoyed them all, it is my way of getting involved in things to commit myself to them properly. But the WEA has made the most difference to me, and I will always be your supporter. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth. And there's so many messages of support from you. Bravo, Ruth, a great inspiration. Thank you, Ruth. Heartfelt and passionate as always. A true and inspirational advocate. Really powerful intervention. Thanks, Ruth. Bless you, Ruth. I mean, the list goes on, and there's a few people crying blood, sweat. There's tears tonight, Ruth, because of you, and love as well. And I just want to say thank you for being Ruth Spellman, and thank you for the part that you've played in the WA history. You will always go down as a legend, and long may Ruth Spellman continue. Thank you very much, Ruth. You really are a superb human being. And the fellowship is really, really going to a fabulous place today alongside the other fellowship that we gave out. So congratulations to you.